All right. Online courses are the future. They're the new book. They're the way to make passive income. And they're going to make you rich overnight with just 2 small hiccups. No, actually 3. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a tuxedo, all will become clear. So firstly, the rather embarrassing issue that nobody actually does online courses. Sure, they buy them, but that's not the same. Because according to Katie Jordan, that only 15% of people actually complete them. And so what? Well, it's not exactly going to help you sell your next course to that audience to make even more passive income. And if only 15% of people complete them, a course is even something people truly value or enjoy. I mean, if 85% of people walked out of the latest James Bond film, it would be considered a failure on an epic scale. Secondly, they take ages to make. I mean, a good one will, like this one here with 1 million purchases, which I actually bought and of course didn't complete. And then thirdly, after all of that, you probably won't sell many or any. Not enough to cover the time it took you to make it, because as you'll hear people say a lot when it comes to making courses, this is a chicken and an egg situation with no real answer. Should you make the course and then build the following, or the other way around? Yes, I'm aware this is a duck. It's the closest thing I had to a chicken. Except when it comes to selling these courses, it's not a chicken or duck and egg situation. You need an engaged following to sell enough courses to make your time investment back. You need trust, you need authority, you need tons of marketing skills to make this work. But you hear all the time about the amazing amount of money people make from courses, right? There's always someone out there who knows someone that made a killing. Teachable, a big old course building platform, published their stats from 2020. And out of their hundreds of thousands of users, 11,747 people made $1,000 from their course in 2020. That's not going to pay back even a fraction of the time and effort that goes into producing a good course. Sure, the course is there for life, so it could pay itself off over time, but that's only if your content's evergreen and you don't have to keep updating it. Now, by the way, this isn't a dig at Teachable or other training platforms. Their software is incredible, and it's so easy to use, and it basically means anyone can make a course, which weirdly has caused this whole problem. Really, according to these stats, only about 5,000 people actually make the kind of money that might make it worthwhile. And then you've got to cover the setup costs, the tech, marketing, and value your time to make the whole blooming thing. And one final thing to be aware is the people who show you how much money they made selling courses on Facebook through Facebook ads. What they tend to show you is how many courses they sold, not how much they spent on ad revenue. Oh, and here's your 4th bonus problem, and one that you probably wouldn't have considered. People might just not care about your course, even if you have a big engaged following. So a few years ago, a client asked our production company to produce the videos for a course. Now, these guys were course veterans. They had an epic email list, and every course they released would sell around $30,000 to $50,000 in the first day, apparently. Before this, their courses had not used video before. It was always text and images. So they wanted to start using video because they thought, well, it would help. Now, when I called them a few months later for an update, it turned out this was their worst ever selling course. I was waiting for him to start abusing me, saying it was the video's fault, but actually, his email list didn't even get to know it was a video course. He just said that the open rates were really low, and the issue was that the topic just didn't seem to have much interest with his email list. They got it wrong, which of course, excuse the pun, makes sense. You have no idea if anyone will give 2 hoots about your course, even with years of experience in the game, because in business, not everything sticks. And this is the side of courses you won't see online. So when is it a good idea to make a course? Well, when you have a following you've been educating for years who already trust you and value you and are just waiting at the chance to pay you for something, that's a pretty good time to make a course. Or you have amazing paid ad skills and you know how to market to a cold audience, that's a good opportunity. When you make a course with the intention of only selling it to your existing clients or new leads as part of a service, and that's actually an amazing way to make money from courses. And of course, to train people, onboard staff, systematize the training you used to do in person. And to be fair to Teachable stats, you would assume a lot of people using it are not just trying to sell courses, but it is part of an onboarding system. Let's be fair with stats, shall we? Let's not just point it all my way. So if you're thinking about making a course and none of these things sound like you, is it time to give up? Well, actually, no. Like most things in life, what you need to do is test the waters. So hear me out. I have a third business venture, probably the most interesting thing I do at the moment. Basically, I've been helping my girlfriend grow her business online. She is a yoga teacher, or she was. She's now an online yoga teacher. When we started working together back in March 2020, an online course seemed like a great idea because Liv's Instagram account had 60,000 followers from 4 years of consistently posting yoga content, which, if you watched last week's video, you'll know is very important for me to mention. So you'd think that would be a big enough audience to sell a course to, right? Well, we spoke about it, and knowing that people, 1, don't complete them, 2, there's no guarantee anyone will buy them or care about the topic, and they're very, very time consuming to make well, we said no. There's no evidence that it was a good time investment. But we wanted to find a way to overcome all of these issues because selling digital products seems like a bit of a no-brainer. So we thought about it, and the answer was actually really simple. We make a workshop. Don't know why I used my fingers there, that's what it was. So what does that mean? This is basically a long lesson, a 90-minute live, an educational event people can buy tickets to watch on Zoom. Or if they can't make it live, they can just buy the recording of it. We could then sell it on the website as a download. And it's evergreen content that can sit there for years, and the requirements are minimal. No big course building, setup, system, platform, a day of prep, 90 minutes of a live event, and that all produced a quality product. And because it was live to start, we could actually witness people complete the content and the workshop. And the result of this was workshop 1 sold 30 places at £25 each. 5 months later, it sold 80. People completed it and loved it, and we didn't have to risk weeks of effort, and financially it cost £12. So we did another one the next month, and then another the next. And now we're 5 months in and 5 workshops deep, and these things sell, but more importantly, and this really is the important thing for us, people are actually doing the workshops and coming back. It's not 15% completion, it's 80, 90% completion, which means we can actually help people and give them some value fast. It's not a course, which mentally sounds like a lot of work. It's a Sunday afternoon with your spare time to fully complete something. Even if the course is short, the word itself implies it's in depth, and really it's not about the price of your course. The thing you're really asking for is their time, which is priceless. Now, I need to make it clear, since we started this project, we've grown Liv's Instagram account to 200,000 followers, and we've also grown the YouTube channel quite fast too. So there is tons of content out there that's always going out that's free, that then drives these sales and is growing the whole thing. Yes, we do wake up with 4 or 5 workshops sold in our sleep, but it's still not passive income because everything we do daily in the business results in this passive sales. Now, I think the real lesson here is before you make your course, just base it on your situation, not someone else's. It might be an amazing option, but first test your audience with a product that doesn't take too much time and expense to produce, and then see how ready they are to buy from you. Now, I realise there's a theme appearing on this channel about what marketing was really like, and I've been asked to make the next video on email. So I'm going to be diving into probably one of the shadiest and most missold marketing techniques out there next week, and bleeping out who no doubt are the biggest scammers in the history of marketing, but they love to sue anyone that says it. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm wearing a tuxedo, well, it's a funny story.